So taking our pose model or any sort of model, be it animated or not, into Unreal is pretty simple. So I don't want to take the rig with this. I just want to take the pose. And my rig is still here. What I've done is I've just turned it off. Just using the show menu up here, I can turn off my joints. I can turn off my IK handles. So I just want to get rid of those because I just don't want to see them. I just want to see my pose, which is this. Nice and simple, pretty relaxed pose. What I've also done is I've just applied a different material to each one of these separate UV groups, or every one of my separate texture groups, because I need that to take into Unreal. Okay, so I'm not going to be taking my rig with me. So what I'm going to do is export this as an OBJ, an object file. If you take this out as a FBX, you'll just get the standard T-pose, and you'll get a rig inside Unreal, which you can do stuff with. But I just want to take this because this is all I'm worried about. Oh, I just noticed some bad things going on back there that I've missed, obviously, before. Obviously, you will make sure you take care of any of this sort of stuff prior. In fact, I just had to go in there and fix that because I couldn't let that slide. That was bugging me too much. So, there's another one there. Oh my god. Alright, almost there. Almost there. So yeah, just make sure that you go around and you check that there's no weird issues going on. Any fixes you need to make them. Cool. So I just want to take this object out. I just want to take this out as almost like a statue. Okay, so I've got my separate materials applied to my groups. So I'm just going to go to select my object, go to File, Export Selection, and then I'm going to export this as an OBJ. Now, this should be here, this OBJ in the file type should be here. If it's not, go to Windows, Settings and Preferences, Plugin Manager, and then inside this menu that pops up, just scroll down to this first file, Autodesk My Everything Bin plugins. Just scroll down to the bottom of this and you're going to get the OBJ export there, objexport.mml. Now mine's already loaded, so it's fine, but if you find yourself going to the export selection and then OBJ isn't there, that's why. So I'm just going to export this as Zenith Pose, spelled properly. And I'm just going to overwrite the one that's already there. And then I'm going to go over to Unreal. So I'll actually set up a new project to show you. Alright. So setting up a new project, I'm just going to make a blank scene. Don't save that. So I'm just going to make a new project. So I've booted up Unreal. I'm just going to create new project, new blank project, and it'll give me this. So this is my default scene, which I'm actually going to bring Zenith into because it's got a nice lighting setup. You can delete these two or these bunch of props here. That's understandable. Oh, that's perfectly fine. I just want to bring it in here. It's got a nice lighting setup. You can, if you want to, make your own scene by going to File, New Level, and choosing one of these. I choose the default one because it's got some lighting setup in there, and it's easy to work with. So now that I want to actually bring my model in, down here it says Content Browser. Go away, Jesse Jones. Down here it says Content Browser. I'm going to go to Import. So that's where all anything to do with our level is being stored. I'm going to go to Import and then just navigate to my object that I made, which is my Zenith Pose. And I'm just going to click Import for this. There we go. So it's brought it in. Now what it does is, and I always kind of just deal with this, it brings it in laid down like this because one of the axes is flipped inside Unreal. It uses like a different axis setup, so you just have to flip it. So there's Zenith posed, so I can scale her up there. She's been brought in. So that's the Zenith is posed now, and it's also brought in my material group. So if I have my textures already made, I can bring those in, apply them really easily because everything is everything is just here. So that's our posed model. Now I don't have any textures for my Zenith, but if I want to actually apply something, I will say if I want to replace my armor with something, I want to replace this red, which is my armor, with the texture. If I double click this, it's going to bring up the material editor, which is like, if anyone's explored the material editor inside Maya, it's a little bit like that, or inside Substance Painter, it's a little bit like that. Now this red is just a flat red that I can change the colour of if I want to, so then stuff becomes blue, as you can see. But if I want to import my different types of materials inside here, so I can just highlight this, delete it. If I right click and I type in texture and then go to texture sample, this is how I can import my texture to my model. So I can drag this yellow, this white node here. I can click and drag that and bring that into my base color. So now it's attached, but it's giving me an error because nothing's actually applied inside this. So as an example, I'm going to bring in a arbitrary texture from somewhere else. So I'll do the import again, and then I will find a material. Oh, I'll find my texture. So in this case, I'm just going to grab this caustic, and then with this open, I'm going to have to make the screen a little bit tight at the minute. So I've imported this. This is my texture that I want to put on my armor. If I click and drag that, you can see here that this green dotted line is saying I can apply this material to here. So I'm just going to drag this into there. Now that material, that error has gone away. You can see here in our little ball that this material has been applied, which is cool. And then I can hit a save. And what's going to happen is going to update on my model like that. So now Zenith has that texture applied. So if you've created other maps or you've exported other maps for your object, your character, it can all be input through here, which is really, really useful. Cool. So that's basically getting the basic materials set up for our character. Any issues, just grab me in class or send me an email, but that really should be it. It's quite a simple process. Remember, it's an OBJ. We export from Maya. We bring that in, place it, scale it however you want. The hotkeys and the keyboard bindings for Unreal are a little bit different, but your scale, rotate, and transform are still the same. Translate are still the same. If you hold Alt right mouse, you can zoom, and Alt left mouse, you can tumble. If I just hold right click and use my WASD, I can actually move around the scene like this. So just be aware the controls in here are a little bit different, and it takes a little bit of getting used to. Q and E to move up, E to move up, Q to move down. So cool. But you'll be using Unreal more and more, so you'll get used to it. Okay, cool.